Hey friends, so, there's a meme that has been floating around for many years now that I'm sure you've seen also. It says, be grateful that some things didn't work out the way you once wanted them to. Of all the stuff I've read on the internet, and believe me, there's a lot, I'm a nerd, this is probably one of the things that has resonated with me the most, and it continues to do so every time that I see it. Because, it gives you food for thought. It's really easy to be thankful for the good things in your life, right? For friends and family, for finding love in your person, for wins, for successes, the list goes on. But something that I don't think we do nearly as often is be thankful for the not good things. The things that didn't work out, the opportunities you missed, the things and people that broke your heart or hurt you. You might be thinking, why the hell would I be thankful for that? Here's why. There are some situations in your life that you stay in way longer than you should, or that you shouldn't be in at all, but you can't seem to find the strength to end them. Sometimes we let people get away with things for too long that we should have never allowed them to get away with at all. We tolerate disrespect or mistreatment. We stay loyal to people who do not return that loyalty to you. We make excuses for people who do inexcusable things. And very, very often, we do this because of history. History makes it difficult to close that door. Because that's our friend, our family member, our whatever they are to you. And you feel like because they have some kind of status in your life that we can excuse their disrespect or mistreatment, maybe just give them a pass on this 1 or 2 or 10 times. And when someone else outside of the scenario asks us why we're tolerating that, we say things like, oh, well, you don't know them like I do, or you don't understand them, or they didn't mean it in the way that it looks. Does that happen? Do people's actions and behavior get misinterpreted sometimes by others who may not be as familiar with them or the situation the way you are? Do you sometimes have to defend someone you care about when they are having a less than stellar moment, or perhaps a few of them? Of course. But when you find yourself doing this often, it's a problem, and it's worthy of you taking a deeper look into the situation. Because listen, we can spend years doing this, and it's exhausting. And it's terrible for your own mental health because you're kind of lying to yourself. You're gaslighting yourself into believing something other than the truth. History is important. It teaches you a lot about people's true characters. It reveals truths, to put it simply. It helps you build trust with people. When you know someone for a long time and they have consistently shown you that they are on your team, then it's a pretty safe bet that they are solidly on it. On the flip side of that, when someone shows nothing but inconsistency and fickleness and reason to doubt them and their loyalty, that history should tell you to have caution when getting involved in situations with them. Our history, our own history, is important too. That's where our routines and patterns and comfort zones lie. And let's be honest, we aren't always big fans of going outside of those patterns and comfort zones because, well, that's just how human beings are. So all of this to say, history often helps us make decisions, right? And strangely enough, even when your history with a person or situation is not great or even bad, for lack of a better word, we are still sometimes pulled towards it anyway. For example, people will often go back to exes all the time, even though the relationship clearly didn't work, even when the relationship was just plain terrible. They will convince themselves or each other that they have changed, things are different, they have grown. And is that true? In some cases, yes. I have known some people who have successfully done this, but sad to say, that's rare. What happens most of the time is that after the show of good or changed behavior that these people put on for each other and even others is over, that relationship flames out again. And Many times it's for the same reasons that it didn't work out the first time. People do this with lots more than relationships. They do it with friends, too. Someone will stop being friends with another person because they did something unsavory. Sometimes years will pass and they will try to reconcile that friendship only to learn that the person hasn't changed and is still awful. So then what? Shall we go for round 3, or is this enough proof that sometimes the universe will send some people around you again just to see if you're still a dummy? If I sound a little flippant about this, it's because I learned this lesson the very hard way. I've done it multiple times with multiple people. And every single time I've thought, let me just give them just one more chance. Yes, maybe they've changed or grown up or just, I don't know, snapped out of their a-hole phase. I'm sad to say that every single time I've been wrong, and I've been wrong to give those chances. The person hadn't changed at all. Hell, in one case, they were even worse than they were before. Friends, having a history with something or someone means just that. You had a relationship of some kind in the past. That doesn't mean that it's right for you today. Even if the history is short, you have to see it for what it really was. And believe me, I know that's much harder to do than it is to say. We tend to always romanticize the past. We forget how painful things are sometimes after time's passed and we've healed from it. We prefer to remember the good parts and not the bad. History bends the fence that you've put up behind you and the thing or the person, and maybe planted some flowers in between to make it prettier, to distract you. This is dangerous, and you can't let that happen, and you can't let it stop you from seeing the truth. You cannot let history be more important than other things like reality. That's how you end up getting wrapped up in things you shouldn't and stuck in places you should have left behind a long time ago and mired in bad habits that are holding you back and negatively affecting your life. Nothing quite stifles your growth like staying in those places you don't belong with people you don't belong with because it's what's comfortable, because of history. You cannot let history be more important than your happiness. And you aren't going to find happiness when you keep looking in the same places that you already know you aren't going to find it. Friends, sometimes having happiness and peace in your life starts with just one word: goodbye. To situations, to people, to reminders, to whatever is keeping you stuck on that bad chapter in your history. Choosing your peace of mind and happiness over history is one of the best gifts you can ever give yourself, truly. And it's a great way to keep growing and moving forward. That's all I've got for you this week. I'll be back next week with another priority message. Until then, take good care of yourselves. Bye.